All right, good evening, everybody. We are live in Utsjoki again, and thanks to the summertime, it is already well after 1 a.m. here local time, and you may not immediately see it, but we are starting to have some lights here above that cloud. And I don't know how it's going to develop, but I've set this whole thing up since many hours, and I just thought it would be a pity not to even do any live stream tonight. And the numbers started looking good, so who knows, maybe we get some action, even if it's going to be short-lived, but at least we are here now and ready to go. I think it's the full moon tonight, and look at this here. We do have some northern lights just on time. This makes me incredibly happy, guys. Woo! Oh my, 1:15. A little bit later than our usual time, but hey, it counts. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful lights. And it's pity because it's getting hazy here. It was clearer earlier this evening. But we have a band now stretching all across the sky, going all the way there. It's not very bright. We have the full moon that's fading everything, but as you can see here, we have some northern lights up in the sky. And good morning, Pieta. I hope that everything's okay with you. And Apollonia from Australia as well. Good morning to you. Hello, Ella and Francesco, Christina, good evening. Good evening, Nora. Not so many people tonight on the chat, but yeah, it's a little bit late. But I set this up many hours ago, actually even just after the sunset, and there was some lights, but they faded pretty quickly, just like now actually. But we do have some faint lights now that still sort of manage to peek through the bright moonshine. And we have Emma from the UK and Jeanette from England. Hi. Hi, everybody. It's very late night here in Europe. And not too early morning for you guys in Australia today. Starting your week. I hope you had a good weekend. We had a very warm day here in Utsjoki today. I think it was up to +6, and the snow is rapidly melting. It's not even April yet, and the lights are slowly fading again, and the full moon doesn't help, the haze doesn't help, but that's how it is tonight. Let me show you where we are here in Utsjoki, on the shore of the Tinno River. And we are at the Aurora Holidays cottages. The moon is shining there above the cottages, and we have a nice bright winter night here. and I can actually see a moon dog here on the right side of the moon. Let me try to point it to you. The moon dog is here. And the northern lights are very barely visible. So yeah, we changed the clocks last night back to summertime, so we moved 1 hour ahead. And this is why we are starting these live shows now a little bit later, and of course because there was no activity earlier. Now there is some very faint that actually already faded. Sorry about that. Well, it looks very, very faint. I can see a little bit here, but it's, yeah. Well, we saw some green for 5 seconds. And yeah, it's a really pretty landscape. The aurora forecast was extremely good for tonight, but I think that it's not always as accurate as we would like it to be. I'm pretty sure there were strong lights. Hey, the green is appearing again here in front of us. If you look really, really closely, there is a green beam vertically. So, of course, we are staying here to see if we get any luck. But as you can see now, I will put it in the dead center of the image. You can see here, really in the middle, there is very, very faint green band in the sky, but nothing to write home about just yet. Quite a bummer that it was cloudy yesterday, because I'm pretty sure that there would have been gorgeous lights. And we have Phyllis from Deep South Texas. Good afternoon to you. And yes, Carol, the full moon is bright and shining. Actually, I'm just trying to see. No, this is still some clouds over there. I just thought I saw a beam. Now just on top of the fell here, there we have some very faint lights. And to be honest, I can't even really say that I see it to the naked eye just yet. I could see it before, but now it's really, really faint. And yes, Pieta, the moon is really, really beautiful. Well, I guess the usual audience is sleeping besides you guys. But yeah, it's quite understandable. Almost 1:30 here in Finland, and 1:30 midnight Central Europe, and 11:30 in the UK. So I get it. But I just wanted to, well, I had brought everything down here. Now I can actually see it to the naked eye. It's getting brighter. I just wanted to show you that it can happen at any time. And if you go to sleep too early, then yeah, pity, you just missed the lights. And that's what we, of course, try to explain to the guests when they visit us here in Utsjoki. That sometimes it really happens during your sleep time, and now the green is getting a little bit brighter over the fells. and it's actually visible to the naked eye now. Remains quite faint, and it's, as I said, muted both by the moon and the haze that we have now in the sky. I hope everybody had a good weekend. As I was saying, it became pretty warm here. There are a lot of patches that have no snow anymore on the ground. And if it continues like that, I might have to retreat back to the shore, because I don't want to stay on a thawing river. Okay, we do have some clear auroras in the sky, or clear and faint. It is visible to the naked eye, but it's a little bit faint for a really, really good show due to the moon. And we have Hay from Illinois, USA. Good afternoon to you. Nice to have you on our live stream here from Utsjoki. And if we have any newcomers, let me show you where we are. We are here in the sorry, my English is getting tired. Northernmost part of Finland here. And the hills that you can see actually at the bottom of the image are already in Norway. We are that far in the north of Finland. And if you're wondering why it's so bright, it's because we have the full moon shining right behind the camera. And Carol from Washington, US, good afternoon to you. I really hope you get to experience the aurora one day. Who knows, maybe here in Utsjoki, that would be amazing. We will be waiting for you. And Vanessa is asking how many hours of sunlight we have per day. I think the sunrise is at about 6 a.m. right now. It's going to be at 6:30 tomorrow morning. And the sunset is going to be at 8 p.m. So that's 13 and a half hours between sunrise and sunset, but that means maybe 15, almost 16 hours of too bright sky so that we can't see the northern lights. And I think that we will lose them around 11th, 12th, 13th of April, depending on, of course, the level of activity. If we get bright northern lights, we could see them, I think, until 13th of April. And the good news is that we won't have the moon anymore at this time. And Danielle from the UK, good evening to you. And happy that you've seen the lights from the UK. It's indeed possible. Et bonsoir Anne-Marie. J'espère que vous allez bien. Bonsoir à tous les francophones. We are waiting and waiting for some brighter northern lights. but I'm not sure if it's going to happen. It started really well around 9:30 in the evening, and that's why I came down here to set up everything. It was barely dark enough to see the lights, but you could actually see them better than now, but they faded before it got ready, and then nothing happened for all this time. And Mildred from, I have to get closer to my screen. Kalamazoo, sorry. Good afternoon to you. We have faint lights. And haze and the full moon. I'm just still hoping for a brighter outburst of the northern lights, but it's not looking very promising. But we have had so many surprises that we never know. Et Anne-Marie, il a fait +6 toute la journée. Et je suis même pas sûr qu'il fasse en dessous de 0 là cette nuit. Il doit faire toujours +1 ou +2. C'est très décevant puisque l'hiver, la saison de neige est pas loin de se terminer. And so while we are waiting for more lights, oops, let's take a look at the beautiful cottages again. Here at Aurora Holidays. I think there is even some humidity on my lens. But yeah, we have the cottages, we have the restaurant, and we have the bright full moon behind, with now you can actually see a moon dog on each side and almost see a halo. So that's a nice view on the cottages and on me. So yeah, everybody, we are waiting for the lights now, looking at the south and at the cottages. And I have my computer down there with the chat. And not so much northern lights tonight. The sky is hazy. The moon is really bright. Of course, if we had a big display, we would be able to see bigger lights. I'm going to stay live for a short while longer, because we never know. And it's always a game of waiting and patience with the lights. And it's only (1:30) here local time. But if you bring it back to wintertime, it means it's only midnight. And we have had lights even last week at 2:30 So that would mean actually 3:30 tonight. Well, don't count on me for staying up so late. But I think it can be worth waiting for a little while longer. And Susie, good evening to you. Those are really three great countries that you mentioned: Sweden, Norway, and Finland. Of course, I'm very biased here in Finland, but I think you should give a go to Finland. And actually, we are almost in Norway here. Just a few meters in front of the camera is already Norway, maybe just 20 meters. I won't go there today because it's not allowed to cross the border with these COVID times. And Apollonia, warm moon. I must say I haven't looked at it. Well, I am French myself, so I don't have a particular culture about the moon names. I think they are quite universal, these moon names. Maybe the Finns have something different, but that I would have to ask to the locals. Bonsoir Claude, j'espère que vous allez bien. And Terry from Texas, good afternoon to you. We had some faint green peeking through the haze and getting brighter than the full moon. And now it kind of faded again, and we are waiting for maybe something more to happen. When I look at the solar wind, it is not impossible, but it's quite weak parameters right now, so I wouldn't have too high expectations. Although we have been seeing quite a few surprises here in Utsjoki. Even with those numbers, we have seen the sky light up really brightly sometimes. And Doru, good morning to you in Japan. You're starting your week. I hope you had a good weekend. Bonne nuit alors, Anne-Marie. À très bientôt, j'espère. And the lights seem to have completely faded. Let me take a look. Yep. Not much to see right now. Oops, sorry, got a bit fast. Et bonne nuit à vous aussi, Claude, alors. À bientôt. On va rester en ligne encore quelques minutes. We are going to stay online for a little while longer. But sadly, the weather forecast is also announcing that the situation will worsen with the clouds. I'm actually surprised that it's still kind of clear. And Susie is asking on Facebook what got me started chasing the aurora. That's a good question. I have been quite fascinated by, I would say, the space and the stars, and yeah, everything space related since I was a kid, actually. And it was only natural at some point that I just really wanted to see the Northern Lights. And what I often say is that there are, I think, two types of people with the Northern Lights. Like, you have it on your bucket list, and one type of people, they just travel to a place like here, they see the lights and they find it extremely beautiful, and then it's one item checked on their bucket list and they move on to the next. And then you have people like me who have it on the bucket list, see it once, it's so amazing, and then we want to see it again and again and again and again. And that's what happened with me after seeing them the first time. And I have to say, I was really, really lucky on my very first night that the Northern Lights were so incredibly bright and fast, and they lasted for almost the whole night. So I really, just wanted to see them again and again, and I just continued traveling, and we all know how it ended. I just moved here now. And Doru, you're very welcome. It's a pleasure for me to do this, and it's not very cold tonight. Actually, it's not even minus temperature. I think it's maybe +1, +2 tonight. As I was saying, we had a really warm day. Well, actually, it might be a little bit colder. My phone says -5. And maybe, because the snow got again very, very hard. So maybe, it's minus something, but nothing compared to the -20 we had a couple of weeks ago. And Renato from Italy, good evening to you. Oh, this is a cloud. I just got excited. When the moon is so bright, it's sometimes difficult to distinguish the faint lights from the clouds. So the best way is just to point the camera at it and see if it's green or not. And thank you, Doru, for the stars names. I have to say that this is a goal for me next season, to be a little bit more aware of more stars and more constellations. But one thing at a time. I learned how to do live streams this season. So if you want to join us here in Utsjoki, we would, of course, love to have you here. The bookings are, of course, open for next season, despite the uncertainty of COVID. And obviously, if you book and are not able to travel due to COVID, you don't lose any money and you can move your holiday. And if you want to know more about this place, it's auroraholidays.net, auroraholidays.net, and the link is at the bottom left of the image. And Apollonia, yes, I also have an app on my phone. It's called, where is it? Star Walk 2. I don't remember if I paid for it or not. But yeah, very useful. Now I'm using the phone to get the internet to the laptop, so I'm not going to mess around with the Star app, otherwise we might have connection issues again. But it looks like, yeah, the lights are being very, very shy tonight. We did see them, but that was very brief. I would really like a miracle tonight. That would be amazing for you guys who are up so late. I mean, the Europeans. But yeah, we will be continuing live streams throughout the rest of the season, of course. We have another, maybe a little bit more than 2 weeks, depending on how strong the lights are and, of course, the weather. Last year we saw our last show, I think. I need to check actually in my archives, but I think it was around 13th of April. We are panning through the northern sky. No green there. We have Cassiopeia at the top of the screen. And Christina, of course, we will continue these live streams for the next season. We'll have to find a way to combine those, of course, with having guests, hopefully. But we are definitely going to continue doing those live streams. and hopefully our guests will agree to appear. Then it will be easy to continue doing this. And then you can hear the reaction of the live reactions of people who see the lights for the first time. I think that would be quite amazing. And I really hope that we will be able to see you here, Christina, you and everybody else. That would be really quite amazing for us. It's quite annoying that those clouds are aligned exactly where the lights would be aligned. Especially those clouds here, they just look like the way the lights are usually starting, but not tonight. And good night, Carol. So, guys, I think that I will call it a night. Save some energy for the stronger nights later on. Now that we have the summertime, everything happens 1 hour later. But as you know, we have a 24-hour webcam here on youtube.com/Aurora Holidays. So if you want to see if something is going to happen later tonight, go there, youtube.com/Aurora Holidays. And good morning, May from Hong Kong. I am going to pack everything up and go to the sauna, and then go to sleep. And I hope to catch you on the next one. So good night, everybody in Europe. Have a good Monday, everybody in Japan and Australia and Hong Kong. And I see Lester is here as well, from Australia as well. Have a nice day, guys. Good night, Europe. Take good care of yourselves, everybody. And